Palm oil industry players urge not to stay silent on negative campaigns. MMEA nabs 40 Vietnamese fishermen off TERENGGANU waters. Good afternoon, you're watching News on 2. I'm Amin Carlos. The government will not condone the denigration of the palm oil industry to ensure the survival of 650,000 smallholders. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the government would not keep silent on any campaign against palm oil, particularly in the European Union, which systematically sidelines the industry.
We cannot stay silent any longer. We must respond to all negative campaigns on palm oil. We must respond rationally with facts and figures on the issue of deforestation and destruction of wildlife. We must also forge ahead with sustainable certification and adopt best agricultural practices. We must brand palm oil well. We must brand palm oil well because it is versatile and nutritious oil.
Speaking at the 2017 Palm Oil Industry Leadership Award dinner in Kuala Lumpur last night, Dato' Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid also stressed that Malaysia must be at the forefront of embracing new technologies to add value to the palm oil industry. Dato' Zakaria Arshad will resume his duties as Felda Global Ventures Holding Berhad's or FGV Group President and CEO on October 16th. The FGV Board of Directors in a statement revealed that a domestic inquiry has been conducted with proper internal processes in line with the Ministry of Finance Incorporated or MF Inc. requirements of integrity, spirit of impartiality and ensuring proper corporate governance. Findings of the domestic inquiry have been submitted to MOF Inc. in accordance with Article 80 of the FGV's Memorandum of Articles of Association. The decision to allow Dato' Zakaria to resume his duties was made after taking into consideration his commitment to resolve the outstanding debt of Safi Tax Trading or LLCs, as well as FGV's continuous transformation program. Well, meanwhile, in another statement, Group Chairman Dato' Wira Azhar Abdul Hamid has reiterated his commitment to turn FGV around and bring the company to greater heights, and stating the need for a new management structure to strengthen the organization. Dato' Wira Azhar said the board composition will be enhanced with the appointment of related subject matter experts, which will be announced soon. The Natural Resources and Environment Ministry has identified Kedah, Pulau Pinang and the Klang Valley for the second phase of the Flood Forecasting and Early Warning System, PRAB. And Minister Dato' Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar announced yesterday that the total amount to be allocated for the second PRAB phase will only be announced in the 2018 budget tabling later this month, and adding that his ministry had asked for a total of 560 million ringgit. Priority will be given to the flood-prone areas that have been identified. Currently, the PRAB system, which is in place in 3 states, namely Terengganu, Kelantan and Pahang, would be launched in January 2018 as the East Coast is affected by flood every year. The PRAB system will be able to predict flood at least 2 days before it occurs.
If the flood mitigation project is completed, then it reduces the impact. That's what it is. But it's not the cost. The causation is different. Then the failure of the complete the project is not the cost. It is the rain pattern that caused the flooding.
He told reporters after launching the 50th National Geology Association anniversary celebration in Kuala Lumpur. The Orang Asli community have been urged to stop building fringe villages on the edge of their existing settlements. Rural and Development Minister Dato' Seri Sabri Ismail Sabri Yaakob says if the issue continues, it will hamper the ongoing development of the existing 853 Orang Asli settlements.
Tugas kita nak memajukan seluruh kampung asli. Bila ada kampung serpihan tu, orang akan menganggap persepsi dia mereka adalah sebahagian daripada kampung yang kita perlu majukan. Dan akhirnya kita terpaksa majukan juga kawasan tersebut.
The minister added that even though there were no laws to restrict the Orang Asli from clearing lands to set up villages, it would be better if they moved into existing villages. The ministry has set a 100% target to provide clean water, electricity and access roads for all the existing Orang Asli settlements by 2023. Human Resources Minister Dato Sri Richard Riot is confident that Malaysia will nab its first gold medal in the World's Skills Competition, or WSC, and end the country's 24-year gold drought in the prestigious world-class competition. And Dato Sri Richard stated that after the success of bringing back bronze medal from the WSC in Sao Paulo, Brazil 2 years ago, the national contingent continued to train relentlessly, which led to the team becoming the overall winner at the ASEAN Skill Competition in 2016. Well, Dato Sri Richard said he was confident that with the intensive training and the guidance of trainers and 20 experts, the momentum would be continued and Malaysia can win the first gold medal this year. Dato Sri Richard was speaking as he flagged off the national contingent on their way to WSC 2017 at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport yesterday. The 21-member Malaysian contingent, led by Deputy Human Resources Minister Dato Sri Ismail Abdul Muttalib, will compete in 20 events to be held in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates from October 14th. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, launched the Redback joint training exercise with the Australian Border Force, or ABF, yesterday in efforts to boost maritime security in both countries. And according to MMEA Director General Dato Zulkifli Abu Bakar, the training will focus on maritime security surveillance simulations. Speaking after launching the exercise at the Bausit terminal yesterday, Dato Zulkifli said MMEA and ABF had already shared intelligence on cross-border crimes through a series of 8 Ops Redback since 2013. MMEA and ABF began working together after inking a Memorandum of Understanding in July 2011 and shared the same goal to combat immigrant and drug smuggling, illegal fishing and other security threats.
Migrants tersebut dia menggunakan negara-negara di sini seperti Thailand, Malaysia dan juga Indonesia sebagai negara transit sebelum pergi ke Australia. Disebabkan isu itu, kita telah merapatkan hubungan antara kerajaan Australia dan juga Malaysia melalui Australian Border Force dan juga Malaysian Coast Guard.
More than 100 officers from the MMEA, Royal Malaysian Navy and the Marine Police are involved in the 6-day Redback exercise, which will be done in the Strait of Malacca. The training will be done in 3 phases. In a separate development, the MMEA detained 40 Vietnamese fishermen for encroaching into the waters of Terengganu yesterday. The fishermen, including 3 skippers on 3 boats, were caught fishing illegally in the Malaysian exclusive economic zone near Kuala Kemaman. Kemaman Maritime Director Lieutenant Commander Maritime Muhammad Rizal Kamal Basha said the first boat was seized about 74 nautical miles off Kuala Kemaman shore at 9:15 a.m. Around 5,000 kilograms of various types of fish, 100 kilograms of dried squid and 7,000 liters of diesel were also seized. 17 of the crewmen plus a skipper did not possess any identification documents and the boat had a false registration license.
Sebuah kapal ronda agensi pengawasan maritim Malaysia wilayah timur telah berjaya menahan 3 buah bot nelayan negara asing disyaki daripada negara Vietnam. Ditahan lebih kurang 80 batu nautika daripada Kuala Kemaman. Siri operasi kali ini diadakan dalam rintisan siri operasi Op Kasa Timur dan Op Mareh. Seramai 40 awak-awak tanpa pengenalan diri telah ditahan. Bot dibawa ke Pekalan Maritim Kemaman untuk siasatan lanjut di bawah Akta Perikanan 1985.
The authorities seized a total of 3,000 ringgit worth of goods during the incident. A man was arrested on suspicion of killing a woman at his family's home in Kampong Tersusun, Tasik, Ipoh, Perak yesterday. And according to Ipoh Police Chief ACP Sum Chang Kiong, the victim, who was a 40-year-old Indonesian, worked as a part-time cleaner at the home. The 34-year-old suspect surrendered himself at Berjam police station after committing the offense at around 3 p.m. Police who went to the crime scene found the victim's body near the kitchen with injuries to her face and back. 3 of her fingers had also been chopped off. Police found a machete believed to be used by the suspect to kill the victim and to chop her fingers. The motive of the murder is still being investigated, and the suspect has been referred to an expert to determine whether he has any mental illness. Investigation is being conducted under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. Johor Police Chief Dato' Muhammad Khalil Kadir confirms that a report has been submitted to Bukit Aman to take appropriate action against the 7 policemen who were recently caught on video entertaining themselves at an entertainment outlet in Muar. Well, Dato' Muhammad Khalil said a disciplinary investigation paper was prepared on the case whereby the 7 errant policemen, including a senior officer, were allegedly seen associating with an illegal gambling head. They have all been transferred to the State Police Headquarters pending a disciplinary probe against them. Dato' Muhammad Khalil said the force was giving the disciplinary probe top priority as their actions were deemed to be a serious contravention of police standing orders. The 2 women suspected of killing the half-brother of North Korea's leader returned to the Shah Alam High Court today. And Indonesians Siti Aisyah and Don Thi Huong from Vietnam pleaded not guilty at the start of the trial last week to charges of murder that carry a mandatory death sentence if they are convicted. Kim Jong-nam fell ill at the international airport in Kuala Lumpur on February 13th this year, and the women are accused of smearing the toxic VX nerve agent on his face at the behest of suspected North Korean agents. Defense lawyers have said that the pair were duped into believing they were playing a harmless prank from a hidden camera TV show, but prosecutors have said they will present airport security videos this week that show them carrying out the attack and indicate they knew they were handling poison. Yesterday, the trial moved temporarily to a high-security laboratory to view the nerve agent-tainted clothes the suspects wore the day of the attack. The move was made after the government chemist testified last week that the VX nerve agent he found on the clothing may still be active. His testimony was the first evidence linking VX to the 2 defendants. UEM Sunrise Berhad is keeping its 1.2 billion ringgit sales target for 2017. Supported by various promotional activities, incentives and campaigns. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Anwar Shahrin Abdul Ajid said as of now the group was on the right track and he was confident of reaching the target by year-end. Well, Anwar said the company's projects, mostly located in prime areas, also help boost the group's total sales.
I would say that we are on track. There are some good deals that, as far as we're concerned on achieving those numbers. We just have to work closely with the financiers as well to give confidence to the banks that, these customers that we have, let's convert them. We've got a lot of bookings at this point in time.
He was speaking to reporters yesterday after launching the Residency Solaris Park, a mixed development in Monkiara. Anwar had previously said in August that the group hoped to get better clarity in October whether it could achieve the target. But first, the Football Association of Malaysia, FAM, President Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim has offered 30,000 ringgit as bonus for the national team players if they beat Hong Kong in their 2019 Asia Cup qualifiers. Now, Tunku Ismail, who spoke to the players and head coach Eduardo Vingada via video conferencing from Johor Bahru yesterday, threw the challenge to the players, urging them to give 110% against Hong Kong. The Tengku Mahkota of Johor, or better known as TMJ, said a win against Hong Kong was much needed to silence the critics who have been critical of the players and coach.
Yang penting awak kena main sebagai satu pasukan, sebagai satu unit. Membantu antara satu sama lain, give full kerjasama. Saya confident that you do well. Kalau menang game ni, bonus. Saya bagi bonus 30,000 kalau menang game ni.
The national team is currently in Hong Kong for an important mission to collect 3 points and revive their hopes of qualifying for the 2019 Asia Cup that will be hosted by the United Arab Emirates. Vingada's charge had managed only a 1-1 draw against Hong Kong in the first leg played at the Hang Jebat Stadium in Malacca on September 5th and lost 1-2 to Lebanon in their first match on June 13th. Malaysia are currently at the bottom of Group B with 1 point from 2 matches, while Lebanon top the group with 7 points and North Korea as well as Hong Kong have 2 points each.